I was listening to a lecture recently, and I forget the name of the Buddhist monk, but he was describing how a lot of us hold on to our anger and our hatred, since a lot of us know that those base level emotions, those very hot emotions, are kind of just a mask for our pain. But the reason why we hate, why we cling on to the idea of blaming each other, or projecting how we feel onto each other, and it could literally come in the form of like Star Wars, being upset about stuff. Like, there's a whole subculture of video essayists that talk about how Disney's messing, and maybe there's some truth to it, which is why there's a lot of people, but there's a lot of people too that get addicted to these, like, I hate Star Wars, or I hate the MCU, or I hate this president or that president, and they all have their justifications. I won't take that away from them, and I've partaken in a lot of this as well. But the reason why a lot of us, and it was mentioned in this talk that I was listening to, the reason why a lot of us hold on to this energy is that once we let go of it, we're then forced to deal with our pain. And even though we might see something that bothers us or annoys us or triggers us, or like, oh, I really love Jurassic Park. I grew up with Jurassic Park, but the newer films, oh, I wish they did this, or I wish they did that. It could literally just be, if you want to react to something, which obviously we're human, we're going to react to things. If you want to react to something in the moment, mindfully, if you can, without getting too emotional, and then just move on from it. If it's not media or politics or whatever it is, if it's not something that resonates with you, then detach yourself from it and look at something else, like indulge in something else. There's so much in the world to be appreciated by you. There's no reason why we should be hung up on, I really liked this growing up, but now it sucks. Well, good, fine. Then find something else that doesn't suck, because chances are that one thing that you like, you shouldn't be putting all your eggs in one basket anyway. I had to pry myself away from things that were triggering me, and sometimes the things that trigger us are good, because it's indicating that something is either challenging our beliefs, or challenging the way that we think and feel, or even challenging the type of thing that we're used to consuming. Now it's being served in a different way. Like, say, for example, you go down to your local bagel shop, and for like a decade, they've been making their bagels the same way. You absolutely love the way that they're made and stuff like that. But then all of a sudden, their recipe changes, and their bagels, though they're not bad, are very different from what you're used to. And, instead of appreciating it for what it is now, because you loved the familiarity of what once was, you then create an enemy out of this new thing that's actually energetically neutral. A lot of these things are, even when there is intention made behind certain things, or some sort of agenda that goes with it. For the most part, a lot of things, like, if you're triggered by like how slanted a tree is, that tree has nothing to do with you, and you're projecting how you feel about yourself onto that tree, because you maybe feel like your life isn't in order, and that you need to get things together, but you don't know how, and you wish you could just magically make it that way. So when you see a crooked tree, that's not straight, that's not neat, that's not orderly. It's a mirror of how disorganized or chaotic or just against how you think things should be. That's what that represents. And for a lot of us who are maybe not in the best place in our lives, maybe not in the best place mentally, physically, whatever it is, that colors how we view everything. That colors how we even interact with. Like my boss today, she's under a lot of pressure, so she is like snappy and stuff like that. And even though I'm deep in my mindfulness practice, I still felt the need to talk back in a way when it's not really necessary. A lot of us feel like we need to justify ourselves, and everything that comes at us, even if it does have that negative energy, it's almost like a personal attack. Like a lot of us Lord of the Rings fans were a little disappointed in Rings of Power, but there were some people that took it personally. Like, how could you take it personally? The people that made the show don't even know who you are. Like, you could be married to the idea of how something should be and then proceed to be let down by everything. People that you love and trust, people that you don't know, pieces of media that you grew up with that you loved, things coming out now that just feel wrong to you. All these things are just reflections of who you are on the inside. And this is what I have discovered for myself. So I'm not like literally on a soapbox preaching, trying to diagnose the people that are listening to this video. I very much am speaking from my own experience. But I think that reality does have like a harshness to it. And because of our own trauma and our own experiences, we feel like that harshness or that coldness is personal when it is naturally impersonal. Especially things that are not man-made and are just aspects of nature. Nature is order and chaos, light and dark. It's the duality of the whole planet. Like, Gaia is literally like under the sun and the moon. Gaia is duality, and that is the nature of the planet that we live on. And so that, because we're the children of this planet, we've inherited that nature, that duality, the right and wrong, left, right, dark, light, evil, good. But these are all aspects of who we are. This is all aspects of the very planet that we live on. Like the harmony and the balance between the two. That's a lot of what like Taoism and like the yin yang symbol represent and teach. It's essentially like you can't have light without the darkness. That's why when you look at that symbol, the white part still has like that speck of darkness, and then the darkness still has that speck of light, because not only are the two permanently intertwined, but even within themselves, the aspect of the other still exists. So there is no like separating and defeating. That's like this weird like human mentality that like this trap that we've like made for ourselves, where things have to be a certain way, things need to be a certain way. You're like, yeah, sure, we want to be alive, we want to be happy, we want to be this, we want to be that. But in order to do that, we need to stop blaming everything outside of us, stop judging everything outside of us so harshly, and start looking at ourselves, start taking accountability, and start taking responsibility for our own feelings. Even if other people made us feel a certain way. It's our responsibility to deal with that emotion. And what we're feeling is our own responsibility. And I'm just, personally fed up with being part of that paradigm. I want to stop judging. I want to stop. And the thing is, too, is that as human beings born into a society that is extremely judgmental, and there's societal standards that have to be met, and then there's social standards that are expected to be met in order to be accepted by the tribe. And this goes back thousands of years when we were nomadic, and if you weren't accepted by the tribe, you were ostracized, and not being part of the tribe means you die. So there is a lot of carryover from thousands of years of conditioning, especially when it was very crucial to survival. Now, not so much. There are rules and regulations for everything, but there's certain expectations and judgments and all this stuff that we don't want to take accountability for our own, how we're feeling, and it's just, we're never going to heal, we're never going to be better until we take accountability. And what that looks like is being with your pain. No more anger, no more hatred, no more blaming. Look at why that thing, if you want to go back to let's go back to Star Wars. Why did that make you feel that way? Oh, well, it distorted how the original trilogy made me feel. Well, why did the original trilogy make you feel that way? Beyond the nostalgia, why did it make you feel that way? And then you keep dissecting all these different feelings. And the problem with that is that a lot of us don't want to look deeper beyond the media that we interact with and all these other things that we consume on a daily basis. We don't want to look deeper as to why these things specifically trigger us or specifically make us feel a certain way. And it usually goes back to childhood trauma, usually goes back to our own emotional, mental, and physical pain. That needs addressing. Anything that triggers us is just something outside of us telling us, hey, that's something that we need to look at within ourselves. And so whenever I'm around someone that really, really triggers me, it's an indicator that oh, maybe this is the type of person that I'm meant to learn how to interact with in a better way. And the way that they're making me feel, even if I know where in childhood it started and where it came from, maybe now I could change the way that I interact with this. And sometimes it boils down to just accepting that some people and things are not right for us. That's why earlier I was saying, if you don't like watching something, then don't watch it. You can still enjoy what you used to like about the franchise, but if the newer versions of the franchise don't vibe with you, then don't watch it. That's the beautiful thing about the human experience, is that our lives are not determined by the things that we consume as far as art goes and media and stuff like that. Of course, at an early age, a lot of these things paint the way that we think and feel and interact with stuff. But we have the free will to choose what we consume and how we consume it. And in that same vein, we also have the choice to, instead of ignoring our own pain, sitting with it, allowing just the feelings, because we could over intellectualize. I did mention that a little earlier, and that's something a trap that I usually fall into, is just over intellectualizing. Oh, this came from this came from that. And it's good to understand things, but you really need to feel it. Let yourself feel it. If you don't feel good, let yourself don't feel good. Because once you feel it, what's on the other side of that is the release, the freedom from that feeling. The reason why pain, deep emotional pain exists within us is because we haven't allowed ourselves to feel it and process it fully. And this is how we alchemize our pain into power. Specifically, me. I'll use me as an example. Specifically, I was abused as a child by my dad. Me and my dad have a wonderful relationship now, and we definitely talked about it. I went to therapy about it. We had a good cry about it. I've meditated about it, journaled about it. But because it was many, many years of physical, mental, and emotional abuse, my body still holds some of those feelings and will come out in the form of triggers. So to counteract that, I regularly, daily, work out in the gym, because as an artist, musically and poetically, I like to express myself differently. I'm not really using anger or the more aggressive energy. So I need to get that energy out somehow. And snapping at people or freaking out on people, that's not a healthy way to go about it. So why not just like bring all of that energy in the gym, you know, have just a really good like hour-long session, and then afterwards I feel great because I've released it all. And the more I do it, the softer that hold of trauma has on me. And so there's different ways that we could interact with our trauma, with our pain. And you know, another way to use our pain as power is, I mentioned just a moment ago, writing about it, right? I like poetry, I like music. Even though I don't use the aggressive side of energy, I use that in the gym. I like to channel what's beyond that, which is the hurt. So I'll channel the hurt through my poetry or through my music. And, you know, I get to write songs for other people too, so I get to expand a little bit more on what that looks like if, you know, I don't feel like presenting myself as like present myself with this wound specifically or that wound specifically. I could channel it through other people. And every single day, and the thing is too, it's not just that as well. Like, I will allow myself to feel boredom, and in a way that's another form of pain. But I let myself feel the boredom, because when I stop resisting the I don't want to be bored, I hate being bored, I start noticing things, you know? I could go through my mind if I want to, or I could just notice the room that I'm in. Or if I'm outdoors, I could notice how beautiful everything is, you know? And in those quiet spaces, in the boredom, we come to deeper realizations. We come to just deeper aspects of ourselves. Maybe something that we're looking to get done is now being viewed in a completely different way. And that's because we've created this expansion, of space, and now we have the capacity for clarity. So that's just a few brief ways that I alchemize my pain into power. I also, you know, like through the pain of loss, like I lost my mom in 2006, or I lost, you know, like all my relationships ended, or friendships ended, bands broke up, like just thinking old jobs that I had that I liked that are gone, places I lived, all these different things that were once there and enjoyed and appreciated and loved are no longer there. Now, obviously, mourning these things is important for emotional healing, but we can also use that pain as a powerful motivator to show up fully in whatever moment we're in. I'll use the pain of all the losses that I've been through to every time I go on stage, I give it my all. Or every time I write a poem, I go over it 100 times to make sure I'm delivering the exact message that I want with the right metaphors and stuff. Or, when I'm at the gym, or when I'm putting myself in my work, or, doing something as simple as the dishes or whatever it is. I think that pain can not only be a great source of inspiration artistically and also physically for physical activity, but also as a motivator to not give up on ourselves and to just really be fully present in whatever moment that we're in. They're great reminders too. Like I mentioned my mom passing away. If I'm like struggling with my diet and I'm like, oh, I just want to binge this, I just want to binge that, I can literally just think about her and then immediately think like, well, I can't just go back to that, because would I be making her proud if I just slipped back into my lowest, And, I believe in moments of rest. I believe in giving yourself a cheat day if you want to have like pizza and, whatever it is. But I think what keeps one very disciplined is feeling like your life is on the line and feeling like you're doing everything in your life for more than just yourself. You're doing it for, that's why there's a lot of religious people or spiritual people that just are deeply devoted to like God or a higher source or whatnot, or just deeply devoted to helping people. And it gives them this sense of purpose, and it pushes them further beyond than they think they could possibly go without it. And so the pain that we go through, the unaddressed pain or the pain that we are ignoring on a daily basis, can be our constant motivator to help us break through to the next level, to ascend to a higher version of ourselves that we wouldn't think is possible in this lifetime. And so I hope that this little rant resonated with you, and I look forward to hearing about your own journey in the comments below. So, thank you.